There's a cruel irony that haunts INFPs more than any other personality type. The very thing that makes you most alive, your authenticity, your need to be aligned with your deepest values, is also what terrifies you the most. I've talked to so many other INFPs who know exactly what they want to do, what their soul is calling them to do, but they're frozen by a fear so crushing that it keeps them trapped in lives that slowly drain the very essence of their being. So imagine that you're in this village and there's this incredibly powerful healer, someone who could literally save lives and change the world. But the healer is stuck in their hometown because the villagers keep saying, well, healing isn't a real job. You should go be a blacksmith like your father. Meanwhile, the world outside is burning. People are dying from wounds that only the healer could mend. Villages are suffering from plagues that the healer might be able to cure, but they're paralyzed by what the village thinks. They stay put, practicing safe, approved skills, while their true calling screams at them from the inside. Hi, I'm Matt Sherman. I'm an INFP, and I've coached over 100 other INFPs one-on-one. I've published 3 books and 9 courses on self-development and personality type. And my life completely changed when I stopped seeing myself as this cool, calm, and distant rogue-like character and started seeing myself as a healer. Your dominant function, introverted feeling, the soul, as I call it, knows exactly what you're meant to do. It's always focused on what's most important to you, pointing you towards work and a life that actually aligns with your deepest values. Maybe it's creating art that moves people, or starting a nonprofit, or writing a book that's been burning inside you for years. Your soul is usually a quiet voice that only shouts when someone violates what matters. Friends, family, society, they mean well. They want security for you. But they're asking you to stay small when the world needs your gifts. The world needs you to play bigger. They're asking you to be a blacksmith when you were born to heal. Have you ever considered that maybe staying in the village isn't actually the safe choice that you think it is? What if the thing that you think is protecting you is actually the thing that's slowly killing your spirit? Every day that you don't use your healing gifts, a part of you learns the lesson that you don't believe in it. And that's the real tragedy here. You know what you're meant to do. Your soul has been trying to tell you for years, but something about being an INFP makes you question this choice, and it makes it feel impossible. So here's what likely nobody has told you about being an INFP. Your brain is literally wired to make this whole authenticity crisis more difficult, more intense than what other types experience. My aunt, when I was asking her about her personality type, she's an ISFP. She said, I'm the conscience that nobody else wants to have. That is a very good summary of introverted feeling. Most other people can compromise on their values and move on with their day, but you can't. Your soul just doesn't allow it to happen. It wants alignment with your values, but it doesn't just want alignment. It needs it. It's like oxygen. And when you're living inauthentically, it feels horrible. It feels suffocating. Every day that you spend in a job that doesn't fit, or every conversation where you pretend to care about things that really don't matter to you, every morning you wake up and numb your dreams and goals with mindless scrolling and fear of failure, your soul is slowly dying. Your introverted sensing, the guardian, is always focused on how to maintain consistency and keep things predictable. That part of you wants you to be safe. And in order to be safe, the guardian, based off its perspective on life, advises you that it's best not to step outside of your comfort zone. It's best to just do things as you always have. You don't know what scary monsters might be out there, and you've never fought them before. Now, your extroverted intuition, what I call the explorer, is the one that's advising you to take a risk, to take a chance on succeeding. It points out new opportunities for growth and change. It's excited by novelty, the thrill of adventure, and big dreams. And that sounds like a really good voice to listen to if you're sure that you can handle whatever life happens to throw at you. But if you haven't gotten those experiences that show you that you can handle it, you can acclimate, you can cope, then you're probably not going to believe that you can. The fear of failure isn't just about not succeeding. It's about not living up to the perfect ideal that you have in your head, that your introverted feeling, your soul has created for you. It's about the fear of potentially making a mistake and being fated to become someone who you didn't want to be. Your soul doesn't just want you to follow your purpose. It wants you to be amazing at it. So when you imagine failing, you're not just imagining a career setback or something that you can recover from. You're imagining betraying everything about you, everything that you believe about yourself. You see yourself as a failure. Not just that the approach that you took wasn't the best one. And the fear of judgment cuts deeper because when someone questions you on your path, on your goals, on what you want to do with your life, they're not just questioning your choices, they're questioning your soul. When your uncle says that your art career is impractical, he's not just giving financial advice. He's attacking the core of who you are. And this fear of disappointing others is your non-confrontational nature and your need for authenticity colliding like two trains. So here's something else that's happening in your brain that makes it even more complicated. Something that you might not even realize is actually happening. There's a cognitive function that's literally working against your authentic path. And you probably don't even know it exists, unless you've been studying personality type for a while. Know that this part of you is not bad. There are no bad parts of you. But it does cause issues if you don't have a good relationship with it. And it's probably been quietly undermining your confidence for years. So let's talk about extroverted feeling, what I call the envoy. This is not one of your main 4 functions that gets talked about a lot, but it is a really important character. It's always there. It's like the captain of a rival pirate ship going for the same treasure. You're not direct enemies, you just have some conflict. The envoy's job is supposed to be reading social harmony and group values, and that sounds really helpful, right? But for us INFPs, it's like this, again, internal rival that makes you question everything that you know to be true. It turns your natural desire to help other people, to be a good person, into this reason for not seeking life's treasures yourself. It's like you finally know what your soul is calling you to do, and you can feel it in your bones. You just know that this is what you're meant to do. But then the envoy kind of pipes up and, with that familiar voice, and it's like, hey, but what if everyone else is right and you're wrong? This is why you can have the strongest internal conviction about something, but the moment that someone else questions it and gets passionate or adamant about it, you start to doubt yourself. Your boss says that you're crazy for wanting to leave corporate, which you never actually wanted to be in the first place. And suddenly, your clear thinking about your passion and your purpose becomes cloudy. Your natural empathy works against you because you're really good at understanding where other people are coming from based off what you know about yourself, your own personal self-reflection transposed onto them. So you assume, well, they're so passionate about it, they must know something that you don't. The envoy is trying to keep you safe from social rejection, even if that means betraying your soul's calling. It would rather you live a lie than risk disapproval and being outcasted. Everybody's been trying to tell you to be practical and play it safe, to work the 9 to 5, to invest in that career. But what if the safe path is actually the most dangerous one? You've been so focused on the risk of failure that you've ignored the guaranteed cost of staying inauthentic and unfulfilled. When an INFP stays in the wrong life, they wither. Your creativity dies, you become a shell of who you're meant to be. I've seen it in clients, I've experienced it myself. It's like my daughter's sunflowers slowly drying up from a lack of rain and nourishment. Your gifts become your prison, your depth becomes your trap, your easygoing nature becomes quicksand. The real you disappears a little more every day. Meanwhile, the world is missing out on your unique gifts. The art that you're not creating, the people that you're not helping, the problems that you're not solving with that quirky combination of skills that only you have as an INFP, nobody gets it. True risk and a hard life doesn't come from failure. True risk and a hard life doesn't come from failure. It comes from a slowly dying passion. Failure gives you data, and inauthentic living gives you regret. The healer needs to leave the village, and it won't be easy. But the world needs what you have to offer. I hear so many comments from people saying, well, it's not that easy. It is not easy. It's not meant to be easy. But also, it's not fulfilling to not do it. You're only going to improve your skills and grow when you're challenging yourself. So, be the healer that leaves the village. Or you can be a blacksmith if you want.